Well, good morning guys, and despite the stormy weather last night, it didn't really happen, and to be honest I was thinking, wow, I've actually managed to blank in those conditions. So I'm thinking I need to pack up soon. The right hand rod is absolutely ripped off with this chunky common. It's gone £21, absolutely brilliant fish. The commons in here are just stunning, aren't they? Lovely jet black dark fish. So yeah, £21, I'm buzzing on the chod rig again, and yeah, off the spot that I've found out there, which I bait with some boilies. Yeah, it's tore off, weeded me up solid actually. Just walked right back, almost right back to the fence, and it's pulled it out. I've managed to pull the whole weed bed in, so yeah, awesome stuff. Let's slip him back, look at that. Another brilliant Franklin's carp, happy days. Get you back where you belong, shall we, mate? Oh. Wants to go. There he goes. Get that for a fish. Beautiful stuff. Happy days. Happy days. Well, hi there guys, and yeah, hope you're all well, and welcome to chapter 4 of the Water Park Diaries. And yeah, what a way to start it, a fantastic £21 common. Sorry I didn't check in last night, I didn't get it till probably 7:30. It gets dark at about 8:30 now, so I needed to get everything sorted quick, and plus last night the weather was absolutely insane, which is part of the reason why I came. I think we're in, I've forgotten the name of it now, but there's some storm front that's pushed in. We're actually kind of on the end of it now, and yeah, I sat through it all last night. Proper hacking wind straight down here into this swim. You couldn't ask for anything much more carpy than that, and or better carp fishing conditions. And yeah, I was sat there and I was thinking, it's gonna go, it's gonna go, it's gonna go. It didn't. And obviously it goes on through the night, doesn't it? And you think, what's going on? And I'm like, I hadn't heard a fish crash out there or anything like that, and I'm like, what is happening out there? Because I'm just thinking, you know, my rod I shouldn't be able to keep a rod in the water in these conditions, but I didn't hear anything, didn't see anything show. I managed to scatter some bait around last night with a throwing stick out on the spot, which is about 12.5 wraps out there. I say it's a spot, it's a cleaner area, slightly cleaner area of weed. You don't get a massive FUD down, but you can cast out, lift up, and you won't snag up on any weed. But my side of it is a massive bank of weed, and that's the trouble I ran into once I hooked the fish. Very, very slow take. Obviously woke up this morning, it's about 8 o'clock now, and I was thinking, it hasn't happened. I must have not been on any fish. But it appears some fish have just crept down here, and yeah, it's ripped off again, which is brilliant stuff. So we found a way to get a few takes, which is choddies over spreads of boilies in cleaner areas of weed, not right on top of the thick stuff. You won't get a bite in that. You still have to find, it can be low lying weed, but it has to have, you have to be able to feel that lead down through the water, and because sometimes the weed beds are so thick in here that you cast out and you're just in a huge ball of weed. You're never going to get a bite on, even on a choddy in there. You're fishing like a foot deep, or if that. So yeah, these cleaner channels that they use to navigate through are brilliant for spots, and they're not as pressured as the gravel spots because you don't get a firm smack. So yeah, so that's what I did. Obviously big bank this side. When it ripped off this morning, very slow tape, but I was up, so I was on it pretty quick. Got on it, started playing it, it started going away, and then it's come back into this weed bed, into this huge bank of weed, and it's just locked up solid. Absolutely locked up solid. Sorry about this, the wind is picking up, as you can see. It's absolutely mental. Yeah, absolutely locked up solid. And I thought, no, I've lost another one in this swim, because that's exactly what happened when I had the few fish in the overnighter here. That's exactly what happened with the one that I lost that night. Anyway, I've just held the pressure, nothing. started walking back, and I've walked almost all the way back to the fence, which, as you can see, is all the way over there. So yeah, I've walked all the way back to that fence, and felt everything start moving. Not felt a fish kick, but I felt everything start moving. Started winding and winding. As it turns out, I pulled the whole weed bed out and towards me. So yeah, it just shows, don't give up, because that carp was just sat there in that weed, and once they get buried in it, they ain't moving. They know they're safe then. So yeah, I've managed to just pull it all back and bring it in, which is great. Yeah, so another fish on the bank. I've made the decision not to recast the rod, because I always fish the two over the same area, and every time I've done that, it hasn't resulted in a quick take anyway. So I've just left the other one fishing. It's undisturbed. You never know, if there's any more fish out there, that one might get picked up as well. So I'm going to start packing stuff up, bring the car over, start packing stuff up. But yeah, it's been another successful overnighter. So we've had a little run of these now, which is brilliant. I don't think the lake is that difficult. I think it's the pressure, the angling pressure can make it difficult in terms that you can't get on the fish. Generally, when I've found there's fish in the area, you can generally get bites fairly easily, and it's not just Chodrigs that'll get bites. You'll get bites on everything. I just prefer not to spom bait out, because I find sometimes that can take a little bit longer to get a bite than just having a spreader bait out there with a high attract hook bait. You know, you can get done a little bit easier, I think, and you've got to take time to establish a spot. If I was on a longer session, spawn bait out there, establish an area, catch a hit of fish. On overnighters, I'm happy to just nick the odd one like this. So yeah, there we go. So that's the start of chapter 4. Yeah, a lovely 21-pound common to get us off the mark in this chapter. Happy days. So start packing up. If it rips off again, if we have another one before I pack up, even better. But not to worry if not, and I'll see you here next time. Right then guys, we are back and we're ready for another night on Franklin's. Second session of this chapter, and I've arrived in the car park. It's about 7:15 and it seems surprisingly quiet. Whether it's going to remain that way while I walk around the lake, who knows. As you can see, this is the swim I fished the other night, where I managed to catch that fish in the morning. Beautiful swim. You can see most of the way down the lake. You can't actually see who's fishing the swims, but if anything was to be rolling down there, I'd be able to see it from here, which is partly what makes it such a nice spot. I've actually been looking out to the area I fish, and there's a little bit of bubbling, so potentially could just jump straight in here. My hat's on like a bit of a twat, but I'm well known for that, so don't worry. Yeah, it's tiny little patchy bubbling, nothing mental. So the only thing that's slightly putting me off is I do know that a really nice old chap who I spoke to, older than me, a really nice chap who I spoke to the other day in the morning after my session. He dropped in there after me. I was expecting him to still be here, to be fair, but he's gone. So does that mean that he didn't have many bites? Who knows? I mean, the wind was hacking down here. It's not anymore. It's flat calm down here now. So yeah, not sure. We're gonna have a walk around, as you should always do on any venue you go to. Never come with any preconceived ideas of what swim you're gonna go in. It's all right having favourite swims, and I may well end up dropping in there, but you know, if you don't at least walk around, you don't see the opportunities that there could be in other areas of the lake. So yeah, I don't have much time. It's a quick walk around, quick buzz round. It's getting to that time of year. It's amazing how fast the summer goes, isn't it? It's just, yeah, it's got to that time of year where it's dark now at 8:30. So I've only got an hour to find somewhere, get set up, and before dark. So Most of the bites been coming early morning or late into dark, so I'm not too worried if I have to cast out after dark, because I don't think I'm going to miss any opportunities. But it is nice to know that you're on the right spot when you can see it. I know you can clip up and use skyline markers, but there's not really any substitute to being able to see exactly where it landed in the day. So there we go. Right, have a quick walk around and yeah, see what we can find. Hopefully we see some. Well guys, just a quick mid-walk round update. It's busier than I thought, unfortunately, but there are a fair few swims to choose from. Probably looking at about 70% full at the moment, from what I can tell walking round. Not fishing its head off, but people are fairly confident, seeing as we've just had a massive downpour of rain. The ground is absolutely soaked, puddles everywhere, and yeah, I think fingers crossed there could be a few fish caught tonight if I can find an area where there are some fish. I mean, this bottom end of the lake is quite populated. There's quite a lot of people down here, which is often the way on here. Strange, I don't really see many people in the bottom car park down there. For whatever reason, I don't know. I mean, that's the area where I've caught most of the fish that I've caught from here. But I know a lot of fish do come out down this other end. So yeah, it's an interesting lake. I'm just having a look round and yeah, I'll have a good look. And at the moment, the swim I was in the other night looks favourite because I haven't seen a fish. So right, we'll keep on searching. Well then, chaps, decision made, and as you can see, with the barrow loaded, it means we're not in the same swim that we were in the other night. Just about to set off down the path now to a swim down there, which I will of course show you when I get there. Spent ages sat in the swim that I fished the other night. Been watching it. Haven't seen as much activity as what I believe to be happening further down the lake. So it's a risk. I haven't fished this new swim before, so we may not be able to find any spots. Or we might be able to find some brilliant spots, but it's worth trying these things. So we're going to go down and have a look. Oh guys, as you can see, light levels have pretty much all gone, and you can probably only see the skyline there. But the rods are out. One at 9.5 wraps out on a silt spot out on the right. The other one, incidentally, I've seen a big fish show down here in the margins, and it feels a little weedy, but I've put a rig exactly where it showed. It just crashed out there. I put a rig exactly where it was, felt it down, and it hasn't gone down great, to be honest, but I've left it there, put about 50 baits around it, and yeah, we'll see what happens. If nothing has happened on that by the morning, I can move it out onto the main spot, which I've baited with probably 100, 150 baits, something like that. So yeah, that's the swim. Sorry you can hardly see it, it's these overnight, isn't it? It's 8:30 now and it's practically dark. Got to set the bivvy up now, and well, the brolly, and yeah, settle in for the night, and hopefully it won't be too long before I check in again. Tight lines. Well guys, that's disappointing. Yeah, it's about 11:15 and I've just lost a fish on the interestingly on the rod placed right in close, probably only a couple rod lengths out, where I saw the fish crash earlier. So yeah, the fish have been really active actually since it got dark. The fish have been rolling all over the place in front of loads of people's swims, and that is the first bite I've heard, and it's come on the rod that the fish has crashed on. Absolutely melted off. Scrambled, obviously scrambled out. I was in bed, scrambled out, got down to the rod, picked it up. Haven't really felt too much there. It's not like there was a big heavy weight. Started reeling, and in the end I've just wound back a ball of weed with my choddy inside it. So yeah, disappointing. It's managed to get rid of the rig there. One thing I do find with chods, and I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, when you play fish at, a lot of the losses I've had on chods are when I've been playing fish at angles. So this fish kited off, or whatever's happened, it's gone off down the tree line to my left. So I've held the rod obviously hard to the right, and yeah, it's hooks come out, and I've had that happen a few times on here. When I've been fishing choddies at hard angles, you just get you get plenty of runs, but the fish just seem to come off, which is weird. So there we go. I'm going to put this one back out now, and I'm going to put a bit more bait around it, and I'm actually going to bait up over the other rod too. I've got a feeling the fish are going to be on it tonight. So there we go. A bit of action, guys. Unfortunately no fish on the bank, but there we go. I'm also going to touch this hook up a bit as well. It's not looking too bad, but it needs a bit of a sharpen that. If I can't correct it, then obviously it'll be time for a new one, but there we go. Hopefully we can actually catch something. It's disappointing. No one likes losing them. I've lost a few on here now. It's trouble with weedy lakes. I mean, at least we're not losing tackling fish, but we are pulling the hook occasionally, which is frustrating. But there we go. Let's get it back out there. Right, well, good morning, guys, and yeah, what a night that was. Cool. We had an absolutely epic downpour in the night. Bit frustrating because obviously I lost that fish early, or I had that chance early. I'd only literally just got in the sleeping bag. The rod that was right in close absolutely melted off. And yeah, that one's come off, unfortunately. So rebaited over it. Got it back out again. And yeah, nothing else has happened. Couple of liners on my right hander. They literally have been just liners as well, just bleep bleep. Interestingly, fish has just stuck its head out right in front of me. I've seen two fish roll this morning. They've both been right in front of me, but not over my bait. And I'm actually running out of time rapidly. Got about an hour left, tops. So if it's going to happen, it has to happen quick. But I don't think it's going to be honest. But yeah, I think the area's right. I just think that disturbance last night may have put fish on edge, and kind of need to be here till lunchtime today, I think. But yeah, I need to get back. I need to log on for work and stuff. So yeah, it's a shame, because if I was down here for a couple of days, I'd be dead confident of just sitting in this swim. But there we go. We'll see. It might rip off, but I'm not holding my breath. So there we go. Well guys, this explains a lot. I've had fish showing over this rod this morning, so I couldn't really believe that I hadn't had a take. Just wound in. my bait's gone, and the plastic bait screw I had on there is also gone. And this is part of the reason why I hate using plastic bait screws. These trolleys are tied with a little rig ring, and I can't find any floss, so I just put a bait screw on there, one of the ones that you just push through to attach, and it's come off when I've had fish showing all over me. So that's absolutely fantastic. What a mistake, oh dear. Hi then guys, and yeah, it's been a very long time without a check-in from me, probably since that last session I was on here, well over a month, something like that. And yeah, I've arrived on a Monday night expecting it to be quiet. I've actually taken a couple of days off work, so this could be potentially my longest session on here. Taking a couple of days off work just because I had them, yeah, I was hoping it would be quiet, but I've just turned up. It's a joke, to be honest with you. I have no idea where to go. Obviously, because I haven't been here for a long time now. You know, a month is a long time in fishing. I've no idea where the fish have been coming out. No idea what they've been doing. I mean, from looking at the anglers where people are fishing, I would say the silt bowl appears to be where the fish are. But I haven't seen any yet since I've walked around, so who knows, it's one of those, isn't it? I was really hoping to turn up and there be pretty much, I was thinking that it's never going to be quiet, it's never going to be empty. It's never going to be empty, but I was hoping that there'd only be like 5 or 6 on at most. It's looking like we've got, I mean, I'm on 8 now and I've only walked up one bank, so I can already see 4 on the other banks, 5. There's at least 12 to 13 or 14 anglers here, so I just don't know, the fish get so pressured. I mean, there are a lot of fish in here, but it's just, yeah, I just don't know. We have got a bit longer this time, we can potentially build a spot, but it's all going to hinge on whether I can find somewhere to fish where the fish are, which is obviously we've found that's the way on here. You know, I've jumped in supposed flyers when the fish haven't been shown there and I haven't caught them. I've jumped in duff pegs when the fish have been shown in there and I have caught them. So it is pretty much find the fish on this lake and you catch. It's not hard fishing, you just got to find the fish. So, or not necessarily find the fish, because there should be fish everywhere, but it's finding the quantity of fish to create a competitive feeding situation. Yeah. I mean, someone's whacking the bait in next to me now, so you've got that to compete with all the time. There's always bait going in, so it's not a question of, oh, I'll bait and fish a spot. I mean, you can obviously you are doing that, but you're not really drawing fish to you like some people would say you are. You're not drawing the fish there because the fish have got bait all around the lake. The fish will just sit where they're happy sitting on that particular day, whether it's because of oxygen levels, wind, water temperature, whatever. So that's why you need to find where the fish are going to sit. So keep looking and see what I can find. I guess I mean, my confidence has gone down a little bit now, seeing the amount of people that are here, but it is what it is. Let's see what we can do. Well then guys, it's about 2 o'clock. Managed to get the rods out just after dark, and in that mess of weed is my first fish. I've got weed absolutely all over my line. I've got to completely unpick it all, and yeah, then we'll sort the fish out. It just pulled in a huge weed bed with it. Luckily, because it's late in the year, we could move it, but I think that fish probably would have been lost in the middle of summer. But there we go, happy days. I'll show you it in a minute. Well guys, what a result this is. And as you can see in there, we have an absolute monster of a mirror. Look at that for a carp. I've weighed it at a bit over 29 pounds. That was with the sling. Well, I think it was about 29.5 pounds with the sling, but the trouble is my scales aren't working too well. Look at it, it looks an absolute giant. Certainly a big upper 20. I'm going to have to get new scales. I think they've gone a bit rusted and old, so right, we'll get this one back anyway. What a carp. This swim's been very, very kind to me. So I've had a lot of good fish from Franklin's from this swim. He's stuck in the sling. Right. There he goes. He's trying. He's trying. Come on. Right then, Mr. Mirror Carp, off you can. Look at that, absolute unit across the back, absolute unit. Go on, off you go. What a fish, look at that. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh, happy, happy days. Right, tie the rig back on and get the rod back out. If you're anything like me, guys, you'll find picking weed off your line an absolute nightmare. So what I would suggest, and plus it damages your line like anything as well, so I've cut the rig off. Rig's down there next to the mat. Check the hook sharp, wrap it up, get it back out there. Happy, happy days. Right then, chaps, so yeah, good morning, and what a result last night. That's our biggest fish of the campaign on Franklin so far. Unfortunately I haven't got a proper weight because my scales are absolutely knackered. Always look after your scales. I mean, Rubens are as tough as anything, but look, I'll show you. These ones have been through the wars, and look, you can't even, they're absolutely knackered. The thing's seized up, you can pull it, it sort of locks. It locks it around once you get near 30 pounds. That was certainly my biggest fish on here so far. It was an absolute monster. So it could have been over 30. It was anywhere between 34 and 28 pounds. The scale, I'd used the scales about 4 or 5 times, and it gave a different weight in between those two weights every time, but it was always bigger than 28. So we'll just call it 28 pound. I mean, we're not that fussed. It's not the one. It's not the one. If it had been the long common and I'd not got away from it, I would have been really pissed off with myself. But yeah, luckily it wasn't that. So yeah, but it's that time of year. It's very cold in the mornings now, and interestingly, this morning I was thinking that we would have woke up to a morning bite, considering we had that one at about half two in the night. Didn't happen. After I landed the fish, recast both rods to a spot out there. So got one off the edge of this island here. One off the edge of this island. It's not actually up against it, it's 12 wraps. That's just what I'm using as my marker. So bang that one out there, and about where the moorhens are out there, or the coots. The other one's just a couple rod lengths this way. So they're both fishing a similar area. Couldn't see what I was doing because I cast out in the dark last night. I just know the spot's there, couple casts, just a quick feel, it's fine. Just a little bit of low-lying weed. It's the spot where I've caught most of my fish on here over, mainly because this is one of the least popular swims on the lake, but I always manage to get in here, and I've only blanked in here once so far. So yeah, so we got those out there. Like I say, bit of bait around it, spombed a bit because I couldn't really see what I was doing with the stick. So it's bombed, just sort of messy spomming around the area with just boilies, and yeah, that was that. And went off at about 2:30. So when I got the fish in, recast both rods, and I spombed a bit more bait out. Now whether that killed the swim, because there might have been fish there, I was getting a lot of liners before the bite. I even had a liner on the right hand rod after the bite, but I spombed anyway, thinking we'll get some more bait down there, obviously having it, and I think I might have killed it. So the question is now, what do I do? Because I don't think I'm going to get many daytime bites in here. I really don't think I am. So do I pack up and move? I mean, I've got to go to the shop anyway. Could pack up, drive off, come back, you know, get some food, get replenished, and then come back. So I've got plenty of time, so I think I'm probably going to give it till maybe lunchtime, see if anything's happened. If it hasn't, we will pack up, like I say, go get some scales, go get some food, and go from there. Yeah, but it's nice to have another one, especially after such a long time away from the lake. And yeah, it's another 20 pounder, so, and our biggest one so far. So awesome stuff. Right then chaps, so here we are in the bivvy, and yeah, I'm thinking that what I'm probably going to do is pack everything down. It's about 11:30, nearly 12 o'clock. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do, pack everything down, put everything in the car. I need to go to the tackle shop, get some scales. I actually need a new throwing stick as well. So go and get those bits, go get some food, maybe go walk the dogs. So yeah, I'm not choosing to stay on the bank the whole time. I mean, to be honest, you've got these really unproductive periods on here, I've found anyway. I mean, I've never really done a full 48 hours on here. I only ever do short sessions, but I found that the action normally dies off around now, mid-morning. It won't pick up again till later. Others may have found it different, but that's just my experience on the lake, to be honest. Just to show you what I've been getting the bites on, what I had the bite on. So it was on a manila, nice manila pop-up. All I'm putting out there is manila and tiger nut boilies. I've picked up myself some of these, the new mulbs, and yeah, they smell absolutely gorgeous. I have no affiliation to Sticky, so I'm not plugging their bait for any reason, but these just smell incredible. Interestingly, what I have been doing recently on the last few trips, and I haven't been telling everyone, and a lot of people think this is a gimmick. John is one of those people. I've been covering my hook baits in the goo. So yeah, I've got Wonderberry and Almond. Both of them smell absolutely superb, and they certainly aren't doing any harm. So yeah, that's been my little edge. Obviously on chods again. I've got a load of Ronnies tied up there, as you can see on the board, but to be honest, I haven't found, certainly in this swim, I haven't found clean enough ground for my liking to present a Ronnie rig on. And I like to just scatter bait around anyway, so interestingly enough, I've been using a spom this session, so it's not as scattered as I would like, but this spom here, whether there's some grit or a bit of bait stuck in it or something, it's not shutting very well. So I switched to the Nash Delt Spod, which you can see hanging up on my spod mod over there. and that opens every time and it flies like a dream. I forgot I had one, to be honest, but yeah, just a little thing for you there. Again, no affiliations to Nash, it's just from my experience they are ideal. They're a little heavy in comparison to the normal spom, but they fly lovely and they open every single time. And yeah, if you're like me and you don't really like spomming, that is certainly a big bonus. Right, so there we go. I just thought I'd give you a quick update, show you a few bits, and yeah, so we're going to pack everything down now, go get some nice Mackie D's. Right then guys, we are back down the lake. It's been about 3 or 4 hours now since I packed everything up, and I went off, had a lovely McDonald's and got myself some new scales, a new throwing stick, and a few other little bits and bobs. And yeah, it's a massive risk what I did, and it hasn't paid off because I've come back and the swim that I was in is taken. So I am going to have to move tonight. It's on a busy lake like this, you're always risking it. So someone will be fishing nicely over the bait that I put in yesterday. They catch one, this is the way it goes. It's a risk I took. Many of the better anglers out there wouldn't have done that. So yeah, we'll see. Right, now I've got to do the whole process again, have a look around, see if we can find some fish. Phone's running out of battery, but I'll try and record anything interesting that I see for you. So, see you in a bit. Well, here we go guys, so good morning, and yeah, a blank night for me unfortunately. Turns out it was a big mistake moving away from that swim where I caught the fish, because I've moved into a swim now and not caught anything, so didn't cast out till dark. I'm in a swim called the Silk Bowl. There's been fish coming out up this end. That's partly why I moved out, wanting to move down here, because the bailiff said there were quite a few fish coming out down here. Cattle Drink, which is the flyer, the real flyer on the lake, it's been the flyer ever since I've started fishing here. He's had 3 in a couple of days, and the Iris, which is opposite, that's done a big fish as well, one of the known ones called white tips. So yeah, and I mean, I've just photographed a 20 for the chap in Kettle Drink, very nice chap too. And yeah, he's got fish showing all over him, so I'd imagine he'll catch another one in a minute. I mean, I'm close-ish. I'm probably a good 80 yards away from where he's catching. So, not a million miles away from the fish, but they're not right in front of me. Basically, last night, because it was dark by the time I decided where to go, same sort of thing as what I've done every other night on here. I know it's silty out there because I've fished this one before. 2 chods, bang bang, sticked. 100 boilies or so out there. Not a lot for this time of year. Autumn, you should always up your feed a bit. But yeah, nothing happened. I had 1 liner about 2 o'clock, I think. Yeah, 1 liner, and that was it. Nothing. So there we go. About 9 o'clock now. We're coming close to the end of bite time. So what I'll be doing is having a look round and seeing if anybody is gone and if there's any opportunities anywhere else on the lake. Got the barrow, it's got a flat tyre, but yeah, we can, if there is a chance, we'll just pack up and move around and do another night. I've only got 1 short night left because I've got to be at work early tomorrow, so we might do another night, we might not, so it is what it is. And yeah, at least we've caught. The lake doesn't appear to be fishing its plums off. When it's fishing really well, you'd expect odd fish to be coming out of most of the swims, but it looks like it is very peggy at the moment. So yeah, there we go. And happy happy days. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Well guys, one of the benefits of fishing Franklin's is right across the road you have this absolutely banging cafe. I've just been in there for a lovely sandwich, brownie, a coffee, fully rejuvenated. And now to head back across the road over here to the lake. Happy days. Nice little bonus that. Right, well then guys, so third and final night of this session, and probably the final night of this vlog, because I don't know when I'll be back down here again. Sorry I haven't really filmed anything during the day today. Nothing's really happened. I haven't even had the rods out most of the day. From speaking to everyone on this lake at the moment, it is definitely nighttime bites, which isn't great for blogging really. Not good at all, to be honest with you. So yeah, I've got one rod out at the moment. I did see a fish show right round the corner. There's a sort of big no fishing bank here, and the cattle drink gets to fish it the best really, because you can point rods down this way. I've got a big tree here, but I have flicked one just a little bit round the corner from it. Felt it down, it felt lovely. Just sort of soft, silty, maybe a bit of choddy weed, so perfect for what I do. Got a rig there now, a few chops around it, but yeah, nothing's happened. Spent probably the last 2.5–3 hours since I came back from the cafe, which is absolutely lovely by the way. Yeah, since I come back from there, spent the last 2 or 3 hours gradually sticking boilies in. And the reason why I'm doing it gradually is because the gulls, as soon as you put one lot out, the gulls are there. So then you wait for them to go away, another lot out, probably about 5 at a time. So I've been doing that steadily for like well over 2 hours anyway. So yeah, so I've got a bit of bait out, probably, I don't know, probably the best part of a kilo of boilies out there, maybe a little bit more actually. So there's some bait in the swim. I've got the rods, 12 wraps. I had a feel of that earlier. 12 wraps is just that lovely silty spot. This swim is called the Silt Bowl, so, and when I fished it before it was lovely and clean out there. Once you got to about 10 wraps it was lovely and clean out there, so yeah, it's just clean silt. Perfect feeding zone really, but I haven't seen any carp here or any signs of carp, so it is what it is, other than that one to the left, but that wasn't technically not in my swim, so yeah, it is what it is. The lake is absolutely full now. I was potentially going to move, but I think there's about 2 swims left. It's absolutely rammed. It's a Wednesday night and it's absolutely rammed. I've never seen anything like it. So it is what it is. We've got a swim which hasn't had lines in it. It hasn't been spommed like every other swim. We've got a little spread of boilies out there. Hopefully they've been picking up the odd one throughout the day, and they'll come in and have a proper feed tonight. That's what I'm hoping. Not overly confident, maybe. Probably on about 50%. So yeah, not overly confident, you know. But we're not a million miles away from some fish. The cattle drink's been doing well, and there's been the odd fish coming out of the iris. Last night I think there were 4 fish caught last night from what I could gather. So not fishing its head off by any means, but yeah, at least tonight I've been able to feed in the daylight, so I know where a lot of my bait is. I've been able to cast out in the daylight so I can roughly see where I'm fishing, and yeah, so I should be able to get myself sorted a lot better. Just got to get the rigs, fresh pop-ups on now, a bit of goo on them, wang them out for the night, and we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to do that now. Fingers crossed I show you a fish in the night, but yeah, there we go. Right then guys, so yeah, good morning. Another completely uneventful night in the silt bowl. Yeah, what a mistake that's turned out to be, leaving that swim down there where I caught fish on the first night, and coming up here and enduring two blank ones. I mean, we didn't fish most of yesterday, we only fished last night. I've been told by a chap further down the bank that bite time in the swim's around 11 o'clock. Unfortunately, I've got to go off to work. It's the pouring rain now. This is the worst bit in it of any session. It's absolutely tipping it down with rain, and I've got to go and pack all this stuff up and barrow it back to the car. So it's about 8:30 now. I'm already going to be late for work, don't tell them. But yeah, nothing's going to happen. I'm pretty certain nothing's going to happen. I haven't seen a fish out there, didn't hear a fish out there last night. Looks like they might have got on this wind, which is a westerly, and that means they would be right down in the area where I caught that fish the other night. Also, like I said, the lake's full, and any time any venue gets full of anglers, you can be pretty sure the fishing's going to take a hit. It's crazy the amount of times I see people like the linear reports and stuff like that, and people fishing linear, and they'll absolutely fill the lake, and it's just, really, like, you're not only making it harder for yourself, you're making it harder for the people that are already there. So it is what it is. Like I said, I think this, I can own this one. I think this is my mistake. For what I should have done is just left the bivvy in the swim, gone off and got what I needed, and stayed in that other swim before, and we could have built up something. Pretty sure we would have caught another fish. Yeah, but hasn't happened in here. So yeah, that'll be, unless it rattles off now while I'm packing up, which I very, very much doubt. I'm pretty much 99% certain it won't. Yeah, so that'll be it for another blog. And yeah, we're here now, we're in autumn, so the next vlogs will be autumn carp fishing. I'll go through a bit of the stuff that I change at this time of year and blah blah blah, and we will go into that all in the next vlog. So hope you've enjoyed this one. Not as many fish as some of the other vlogs, but yeah, a couple of right results. So yeah, right, let's get packed up and we'll see you in the next vlog.